And now some first impressions on Speakeasy. Hi everyone, welcome to Table Scraps. I'm your host, Ben Mandelker, and today I am so excited because I am going to talk about first impressions of the new hotness, Speakeasy by Lacerda. This is a much anticipated game by a vaunted designer who has designed such games as Kanban and Lisboa and The Gallerist and On Mars. Lacerda is known for very heavy and very brilliant game designs. People love him. He is adored because he creates such rich games full of thematic ties to their mechanics, and they are tough games. They're really tough to learn and to understand and to fully absorb, and also I would say to win, but they're often worth it in the end. So does Speakeasy shine like some of his greatest games, or is it more mid-pack or even worse, not good at all? Well, I'm going to share my first impressions. This is not a review because I've not played it enough for it to be a review. I'm entitled to have some first impressions. I think we all are. A lot of us pass a lot of judgment on games after one play, after all. So I don't know why I'm scolding people. I'm like angry. Let me get into it and I will talk about what I thought about the game. And I will also address some questions I have that I'm hoping will be answered with future playthroughs. Before we get into that, first and foremost, if you're liking what I'm doing here on Table Scraps, I really would love it if you would give it a subscribe. It means a lot. And if you're really feeling generous, you can share. If you are accepting an award tonight, maybe you could work it into your speech. Like, I like to thank mom and dad, and of course the Table Scraps YouTube channel, like, whatever works for you. So before we go any further, let me introduce my guest for tonight. This is someone who I really adore. I'm surprised people don't talk more about them. Quite frankly, I think they're great and I should be on more people's radars. Please welcome to Table Scraps, Soda Smugglers. Hi, Soda Smugglers. You're looking so petite today. Are you doing anything? You don't want to talk about that? That's fine. That was actually an intrusive question on my part. People don't know this. Soda Smugglers, I think, is one of the best party games on the market right now. This one kills Sheriff of Nottingham for me, and I adore it. If you want to know more about it, look it up for sure. No, sorry. Oh no, you're not the guest. We're not talking about you today. You're just a guest. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, no, you're just a guest on the show. You're not in this. I'm not spotlighting you. No. Yeah, I think you'll like it. Awkward. Speakeasy is a game by Lacerda and artist Ian O'Toole. These two are great collaborators. They are the Laverne and Shirley of board gaming. They are the Elton John and that guy who collaborates with Elton John of board gaming. They're just like two great collaborators. We love them as a duo. They do great work. Speakeasy is about being an upstart mobster in Prohibition-era New York City. You will be opening up speakeasies. You'll be opening up nightclubs, casinos. You'll be producing hooch at your stills. You're going to be delivering that hooch to your various establishments and then throwing parties and selling that booze to various flappers and other people who are partaking in illegal beverages. And you'll be making sweet money off those people too. And when you're not doing that, you might be buying more hooch from some boats off the side of the island of Manhattan. And if you're feeling really kind of ornery, you might also attack those boats. There's also police who are coming around, so you got to bribe the police. There's also rival mobsters who are trying to take you down, so you gotta buff up and hire some goons. It also wouldn't be such a bad idea to make some friends in high places, aka become friends with other mobsters to help defend your turf. So that's really all you're doing. You're just engaging in illegal operations. It's a worker placement game, and every spot is basically tied to those actions. You go to one spot to build a speakeasy. You go to one spot to build a nightclub, or maybe you upgrade a speakeasy to a nightclub. You go to one spot to become friends with a mobster, one spot to hire goons, one spot to attack a boat, one spot to produce in your stills. I think you get it. It's really as simple as that. This is actually a very, very straightforward game. It just has It has a lot of rules, but they're straightforward rules, if that makes sense. To me, I should say. So let's get into everything about this game. And like, you open up this box, and before you even play this game, you're going to be wowed over because the component quality in Speakeasy is second to none. This is one of the best looking games in my collection. Amazing work. Ian O'Toole really is a master at like clean graphic design, and there's a lot of icons here, and there's a lot of stuff happening, but everything is laid out very cleanly on the board, on your player boards, on cards. The player aid is extremely useful. This is a game where I really do feel like once you learn the rules, you just need your player aid for the rest of the game. You very rarely ever have to go into the rule book. Maybe you go in there to see the unique powers of certain little specific things that you might flip over. But the presentation is amazing. And I want to highlight two things that really wowed me over on my first play. First is the player boards. These magnificent player boards. They are huge and they're great. They're huge and great. They are double-sided, not double-sided. They're, double whatever you call them. So in this game, your player boards represent your, I guess it's your speakeasy, really. It's like your main speakeasy. It's where you hang out, okay? And what you see is you see a mobster, which is presumably you. And then in front of the mobster, there's like the mobster's sitting at a desk, and then there's 4 armchairs. And in those 4 armchairs go your meeples, because your meeples are your capos. Because, mob speak. Already, I'm just so happy that there's little armchairs for my meeples. And then when you look out to the rest of the room, to the left, you see kind of like a bar area, and then, or it's your VIP room. And then over there, there's an empty picture frame. And then in front of you, there's a staircase leading out to the main area of the speakeasy. And then to the right, there's another picture frame. And then all the way to the right, there's a window. And it just looks like, okay, this is just like flavor on your player board. But then as you start to play, you start acquiring cards, and you slot the cards into your player board, and you slot them into specific areas. So for instance, if you have to use a card that pertains to driving a truck, because you have a truck, and more on that in 1 second, you slot the truck card in, and lo and behold, when you look in that window, the art now shows that there's a truck out on the street. Your window looks out onto the truck you just played. And if you play a card pertaining to your VIP room, you slot it in, and suddenly you see a person in your VIP room. And then the posters fill in with posters, and the downstairs area can fill up with people. The point is, as you play things to your player board, it comes alive. And it's just so smart. They didn't have to do any of that, but it's so delightful. You look at it, you smile. And on top of that, it draws you in. It draws you into the world of this game. So much about playing board games is about buy-in and capturing your imagination. That's what I've really learned. I used to be someone who would say, oh, I don't care about theme. Theme is really important in a game. It takes you in, and this game just kills it on that front. Like, you are in it. Like, you feel it and the reason why you feel the theme is it starts here with these components. I would say with this player board, the way it comes to life with this imagery across it is just it's so wonderful. It's chef's kiss. The other component I really want to highlight is your little truck. In this game, you will be producing barrels, and you will have a truck, and you will use that truck to pick up the barrels from one place and deliver it to another. And the truck has little slots for the barrels. You can slot in your barrels in the truck. It is so satisfying. It's so cute. It's so fun. I wish more games could do this. I understand not as many games have as much money behind them as these Lacerda games. I think of a game like Autobahn or Wildcatters that have us putting cargo onto things like trucks and boats, and they just immediately fall right off, and it's very frustrating. And so I hope that more games follow this lead, because I just love it. Those trucks. When everyone sees the trucks, they're like, oh my God, the trucks. You'll just want to play with them. And I love a board game that takes me to a state of play. I love when it touches on those notes. I think more games need to do that, to remind us that we are playing, we are here with our friends, and we are playing. And that's what the tone should be. We're not here to like exorcise a childhood demon because we didn't get picked first for the soccer team. We are here to play with our friends and have fun. And like little touches like that keep the tone of the table right. Hopefully. So far, I should say. I already sort of talked about theming. That was going to be my next point. But the theming, the components set us up for great theming. The theming continues through all these other areas. We have real life mobsters are referenced in the game. They come out and, there's like, what's his face? Bugsy Siegel, Al Capone, like really big famous names. It's fun. I've never been someone who's like really into mobster themed stuff. I don't like live and die by that, but it is definitely it's a theme that is been romanticized a lot in pop culture. And here I feel like Vitala sort of really leans into it. And so this is, I feel like, a very fun forward game as a result of it. Like this, it feels fun to engage with it because the theme is fun. This is, as much as I've enjoyed his other games like CO2, I actually really like CO2. It's about like global warming, Lisboa is it's beautiful, but are you saying to yourself, oh, it's so fun rebuilding Lisbon after an earthquake? Like we don't have a lot of romanticism about that. So this game leans into a really fun theme, and I think it sort of sets the stage for players to have a fun time. Here's something else that I really appreciate about this game. It has a strong theme, and the mechanics feel tied to that theme. So what I mean by that is when you take the driver action, or I should say the delivery action, you move that truck and you pick up barrels and you drop them off. It makes sense. I want to deliver barrels, so I take the delivery action and I deliver things. I want to open up a speakeasy. I take the open a speakeasy action and I open up a speakeasy. Like the actions make sense with what you're doing and what you want to do. I have found that I really bounced off of Lacerda's last two games, Inventions and Weather Machine. There were many elements about both those games that I really respected, but they just didn't quite, like, to me, the theme and the mechanics never quite meshed, and it made it kind of actually difficult for it to play. Given that these games are always a bit difficult at first, I had a hard time kind of like really embracing it. And I think that in this game, the mechanics really do align with the action that you're trying to do. And also, I just really enjoy certain touches. So for instance, this is a worker placement game, but you don't just like place your worker down and like you activate a spot. The whole idea is that every spot is a person you talk to. And just that touch right there, like your meatball, your capo is going to talk to someone. Maybe it's someone in City Hall, and then suddenly you have leverage over the cops. Like it's just a thematic zhuzhing of the action spots that just works so nicely. And just, it also, it make everything you do make sense. It makes sense. And that just lubricates the experience in the best way. We have got to talk about now the gameplay, because the gameplay is great. Gameplay is great. What I have discerned from my initial plays so far, and I'm excited to see how this develops and see how it grows. But I kind of get the sense that this is a giant efficiency puzzle, masquerading as some sort of like mob turf war boozy thing. You have 11 actions in this game. I should say 11 turns. You have 11 turns total in this game. And of course, since it's a Lacerda game, every action has like maybe something you could do before, and this combo and that combo, and do this and fire this one off or whatever. So like the decision tree just goes in left and right and all around. On Game Brain, we say it's a decision bush, and that is exactly what this is. It's all tangled up. But you don't have a lot of time. The game may last like 4 hours, but you don't have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of actions to do the things you want to do. And that makes it very exciting and tense. Everything, you're like, how can I line up everything? How do I get it all to work? Love that this is an efficiency puzzle. Those are always very fun. And the best part about efficiency puzzles, I find, is that you always then want to go back in and be more efficient. They almost demand further plays because you can just do it better, just a little bit better, just a little bit sharper, just a little bit cleaner. You just always want to go in and get to do another run of it, and see how much better you can make it. It's a puzzle that like might be very impossible to solve, but you feel like you can. So I think that the efficiency puzzle of it all is wonderful. Now, interaction. Interaction is an interesting one. When I played it, I felt like I was interacting with everyone. I cared about everything that was going on. But actually, I'm not sure if it's like crazy high interaction. And that does not bother me at all. You give me a really wonderful game with a wonderful puzzle and wonderful things going on. Like if the interaction's like a little bit lower, I will be okay with that. But I would say that the main interaction in this game is very indirect interaction. Obviously, you've got worker placement, so that's its own inherent interaction. There are those public goals, so you're racing for public goals. There's a large amount of area control in this game, and you're also competing for real estate. So there is that kind of interaction. I don't know, did I mention this, that the game takes place over 3 acts, and at the end of every act, the mob attacks and tries to take you out. I don't remember if I mentioned that or not because I recorded 15 minutes of this video without pressing record. So I don't remember what I said before I actually started recording. But anyway, the point is, watch out for the mob. There are some more dynamic interactions. Those rum runner boats that you can attack when you attack them, or if you buy from them, the boats move on the map. It's kind of like a rondelle. They scoot along. So if you're planning to buy from a boat in Midtown, suddenly it might head over to Uptown, and you're like, damn it, now I've got to move to Uptown. There's a little bit of that going on too. And as people attack boats or as people buy from boats, the boats get stronger or the barrels get more expensive on them. So there's like a little bit of a market or an economy that goes with interacting with those boats. You can also hire other players' family members, quote unquote family members, like the family, you know. You can hire them to help you attack boats. So there's a little bit of like, hey, like, hire me, I'm available for hire, I'll take that money. So there's a little bit of that. But I would not say that this is a game with like a huge amount of like dynamic interaction. And again, that's not a problem for me whatsoever. And I may be wrong. Again, first impressions, maybe with further plays, the interaction will really start to bloom, and that would be even better. But I would say compared to some of the other games, maybe not quite as much, but it's still interactive. You definitely are like, you're a lot of races going on. You're like competing with people. You're keeping an eye on people's progress, etc. So it's definitely not multiplayer solitaire if that's an issue for you. Variability will be an interesting thing to track. There are these public goals, and those can change from game to game. And then there's some stuff with setup where these NPCs, speakeasies go out on the board, and that may affect the lay of the land. And there's stuff with the boats. I would be interested to see if that actually increases variability or creates different unique experiences. I obviously can't say right now. I don't know if this game will become samey. I also don't think it's very productive to say, oh, I'll get 7 plays out of this game, and then so therefore it's not worth me getting it. I have to imagine the efficiency puzzle is always going to be different every time, and you're going to want to be going back and improving and improving and improving. And I think that's where your variability is going to come from. So I'm not sure if this is a super highly variable game, but I'm not sure it'll be samey either. I should say in my copy, I don't know if this will be in retail, but my copy came with a built-in expansion where you can have variable player powers and some other things. And so that might also add to the variability in a very big way. I love that all the systems in this game are very well integrated. Everything seems to impact everything else. That's kind of a trademark of a Lacerda game. It's present here big time. I also like that the worker placement is very intelligently designed. There are so many times where you say, I need to go to action spot A before I go to action spot B. But before I go to action spot A, I need to go to action spot B. And before I go to action spot B, I need to go to action spot A. And you wind up in this circle of like, where's my on-ramp to the loop I need to get into? So that's really quite brilliant. I love how it's done. A perfect example of this is the production action. The production action, that action spot is paired with the ability to attack the rum runners. Those are the boats, the rum runners. So you never really want to do something suboptimally in this game because you have 11 actions. So if you're not prepared to attack the rum runners, when you take the production action, if you go to that spot, it's sort of like heartbreaking because you're only doing 1/2 of one of the precious 11 actions that you have at your disposal. So you think to yourself, before I produce, let me go do some other actions that put me in a position so that way when I produce, I can then attack the rum runners and do it successfully. So now you are doing all these other things just so you can produce efficiently. And then by the time you're ready to produce efficiently, someone's taken the spot and now you can't even do it. That is the sort of amazing agony that this game puts you into. I love it. I love that just the consideration of going to one spot now opens up a huge decision tree on how you will be going to that spot. Brilliant. Just so great. So these are all the things that I've really liked so far. Here is my humble advice to anyone who is embarking on this game. These are some of my first takeaways about the gameplay. These are really small, but I think it's good to keep in mind. First and foremost, know that strength is different from leverage. It's probably just a good thing to know in general in life, whether it applies to this board game or not. Strength is different than leverage. In this game, there are two, I guess you could say currencies almost, but or metrics, I should say. Strength is one thing, leverage is another, except that those are two different things because I cannot tell you how many times players got them confused. Strength you use to fend off rival mobsters, leverage you use to fend off the cops. Leverage is like bribes, blackmail. Strength is Tommy guns and brutes. Two different things. So when you play this game, just mentally prepare yourself. Strength is one thing, leverage is another. That's just my gift to you to remember that. Also, don't forget you can buy from those rum runner boats. I talked a lot just now about attacking them. You can attack them. You can also buy from them. My friend, he forgot that was an option, and he was like, "How am I going to get booze?" And then we were like, "You can buy from you can buy from the rum runners. There's always money in the banana stand, so don't forget to use those rum runners as a valuable resource. You can always buy from the rum runners. In fact, you only have one still in this game, and if you lose it, you're not done. You just go to the rum runners. Come on, guys, use the rum runners. Don't forget about them." As Mariah Carey would sing, "Don't forget about us." And by us, I mean the rum runners. There are things called helper cards. Don't overlook them. These are cards you can acquire, and they basically give you a boost before your main action. I only played a few of them on my last game, and I wish I had them. You only have 11 actions, so if you can squeeze out any more bonus actions, like, do it. So try to get those helper cards wherever you can. Like, do not miss them. Another thing I would say is do actions with intention. Don't do it because it seems like a fun idea. You can pull levers in this game, but you don't really have enough time to, in a weird way. Like in my first session, I opened up a still to produce whiskey, and I was like, yeah, I opened up my still. This will set me up. And I didn't actually produce in it until late in the second act. That is a totally inefficient thing that I did. Like, you only have 11 actions. You cannot be building things that you do not have an immediate plan for, or if it's not part of like a really well thought out strategy. That's my initial impression. Oh, and also there are a bunch of public goals all around the board. Don't ignore them. Don't forget about them. If anything, next time I play, I'm going to use them to really kind of like inform my strategy for perhaps that game. I'll see how that goes, but definitely do not sleep on the public goals. There's a lot of points to be had there. Because, by the way, the game is like at the end, whoever has the most cash wins. So like there's a lot of cash in those public goals. And lastly, the game starts with some speakeasies already in place on the map from the NPC. More of those NPC speakeasies come out. It's a really good idea to take them over. You may think you might not want to like bother with them. You might want to start up a speakeasy in a different part of the map where you don't have to worry about the process of taking over a rival speakeasy. Let me tell you something. There's benefits. If you take over those speakeasies, you never get attacked for the rest of the game by Lucky Luciano. But if you strike out in your own turf, Lucky Luciano is going to come for you at some point, and it may not end well for you. So don't be afraid to take over some NPC speakeasies. You may have already figured it out. I'm really into this one. Not only am I into Speakeasy, I already think it might be my favorite Lacerda. I can't believe it. I don't know which one is my favorite Lacerda. It always vacillates between Kanban and On Mars. Kanban is just so brilliant. I love it. I love Sandra. She's a gay icon, you know. And then On Mars, so interesting, so evocative, so smart, so intelligent. But Speakeasy so far has been the first Lacerda I've played ever, where when I put it down, I was like, I need to play this again right away. Like, I want to play it. It has taken up real estate in my brain. To be fair, when I played CO2, I actually played it back to back, which is crazy, but it was more because the first time we all failed and we're like, let's start it up again and play it again. This game is fun. I can't describe it. It's just pure fun. I just was smiling the whole time. I mean, I think I was smiling. Maybe I was scowling, but I was having a great time, even if I was scowling. It is so purely good. I love the puzzle. I love the mechanics. I love I love the components. I love the theme. I love the theme integration with the mechanics. I love this efficiency puzzle. I do want to go back in. I want to get better at it. This is a game I want to really just like understand and know. This is when I could see myself playing over and over and over and over again. This one really speaks to me as someone who does not even care about a mob theme. And also I'm not a Lacerda apologist. Like I said, I did not love the last two games, and I'm okay to say that. But this one, I was like, oh yeah, it's great. And another element that I really love about it that we didn't even talk about is that there's so much really fun engine building, because you've got this player board and you have all these different areas that you can improve. You can make your truck drive farther. You can produce more whiskey. You can sell more barrels in a single action. You can have more family members hanging out in your speakeasy. You can increase your strength. And it's very much like Endeavor Deep Sea, where you can improve all these aspects of your operation, but it's like how and when do you do it? And it's just really fun to you have a little peg and you move it up and you're like, yes, my truck can go 3 spaces now, or I can have 2 people sitting in my speakeasy. Yes. It's a great feeling. I love those sort of games. And the more you tend to your player board, the better your operations become and the more successful you'll be. It's really cool. It's just fun. It's a good one. So I really can't say enough about it. I can't wait to dive into it. I think first impressions are just it's amazing. I don't know. I love it so far. I love it. I hope the bubble doesn't pop. I want to live in this state. I'm hoping I don't play with someone and then it's like they have a bad time, because I'll take on that feeling. I do get host anxiety. I hope not though. I'm really into this game. This might be my 2025 game to beat. But to be fair, there's not been a lot of 2025 games I've really loved. But so far, this is a good one. I would say try to play it. I'm not going to say it's an auto buy because this can be very expensive. So I do appreciate that this is not something that everyone can just go and buy. But for sure, try to play it if you can. I think you'll like it. I think this is a very, very accessible game, very straightforward rules. And it's great. It's great. I love Speakeasy. Soda smugglers, what did you think about Speakeasy? Are you upset at me still? Well, okay. I'll give you some space. Anywho, those are my first impressions. I hope you like this game as much as I do. And if you don't, let me know. If you do, let me know. I just want you to write a comment, guys. Please write something on this sweet little video and be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you all. And I will catch you on the next Table Scraps. Bye.